Let's take a phone call here. Hi, you're on another dumb show. Who's this?
Hi, Dom. It's Creepy Michelle.
Hey, Creepy Michelle. How are you? We got the phones to work. I know the last time you said you tried to call, it just rang and rang and rang, and it never went through.
I was worried you blocked my number.
I promise I didn't. I would never do that to you. My boy's biggest fans, other than me. How could I? How could I ever block you?
I normally call to talk about them, but we got to roll right in from last night. I want to know right now, how many Uncrustables can you take down?
That's right. I completely forgot about that. All right. So, how many Uncrustables are in a case? Because I believe I could rip through a whole case easily.
Let
I
me go
think.
grab a
Well, the
case right
Target
now.
ones, the Target ones I think only come with 15, but if you get the ones from Costco, I think they come with maybe 24. I could be wrong. Mikey knows the Costco number. What's the Costco number, Mikey?
He just ran away to the. He went to the to his fridge, I think, to grab a case real quick.
Yeah, so we
Oh, you
got to
can
figure
get
out
bulk cases
the
of 60 of
time
them.
and how many.
All right.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, I don't think we want to go that hard. But yeah, so Mikey pulled. Okay, what's that big box right there? All right, I like this. What do you got there? Yeah, last night Michelle brought this up in the chat because we were talking about how much we like Uncrustables, and I was saying I wanted to go on a peanut butter and jelly diet. Um, but so there's 18 in that box. I think I could
Yes.
probably get that whole box down.
Is that the Costco box, Mikey?
No, that's a straight up.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know where it's from. Is that from Costco?
Yep.
Okay, that's right. You use mom's
Oh,
membership.
I
I
thought the
forgot about
Costco
that.
box had more.
Well, maybe you could get more. You're trying to kill a guy?
Well,
I don't
Mikey
know.
was talking about how
I've
he was
never
talking about
tried
leeching
to.
off of his parents' Costco
Yeah,
membership. So I felt like the Costco box had more, but I could be wrong.
I've never attempted to eat a large amount of peanut butter before, though. That might maybe I'm
Ooh.
actually biting off more than I can chew here. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, they'll have to be semi-frozen because I don't really particularly like them when they're cold because the bread is like too, or I mean thawed because I don't like that real soggy PB and J. That grosses me out. That's why
Oh,
I love
really?
the I love that kind
See,
of frozen, moderately frozen. That's delicious like that. So,
Wait,
all
wait,
right,
wait. Are
Michelle.
we backtracking?
No backtrack at all. I'm just saying I like them a little bit frozen. I'm just saying my preference for
Can
how
I
I'd
can
like
I
to get them
quote
down.
can I quote a dumb from last night?
Please do, because I don't remember.
I think the quote I think the quote was, "I will murder a case of Uncrustables."
Okay, well,
Murder.
okay, perfect. All right, well then, you know what? I got to
So the
put my money
confidence was
where
there.
I got to put my money where my mouth is. Then, thank you. Actually completely 100% forgot all about this until you mentioned it. You actually, I think you did a big superfan donation in there too. Now that I'm
No,
remembering it.
that's why I had to roll in with it right away to let you know. Well, number one, make sure my number's not blocked, and number two, I had to have you remember the Uncrustables. Love you guys. See
Very
ya.
good. Thank you, Michelle. That was very good. All right, good. Holding my feet to the fire. That's right. So last night during the members only after show, after we did the main show, which was had the big long draft in it and everything. So I felt bad because not everybody is a football fan or gives a shit about fantasy football. So I figured I'd do an after show for the members, or we do an after show. Mikey was here obviously too doing it, and there was actually Jerry and Austin popped in, and neighbor Dave was in there too at one point. So I feel bad. I think I had neighbor Dave. I brought him on and introduced him to everybody, and then I started getting drunk, and I think I forgot he was there. So I don't know if I ever even cut back to him once, other than we first pulled him on. To tell you the truth, your mic's off,
He
bro.
was trying to figure out how to change the camera from front facing to
That's
whatever.
right. It froze. That's
And
right. Now I remember.
I thought maybe I offended him because he hopped on and I was like, holy shit, he does look like Chris K.
No, I think they're cool as far as that goes. I think it was just a matter of now I remember completely. It was just phone. Something happened. It either froze or whatever when he tried to change the camera, and he either couldn't get
That's
back on or
so
just said screw it because it was late. I don't know.
so eating a box of them is gonna be a 6,000 calorie snack.
How much did we determine the McDonald's one was? Do you remember?
It's close to that.
That's what I feel. It was right around there between 5,000 and 6,000, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
So that's
but
right in my
I tell you what,
wheelhouse.
last night I was all with you when you were talking about crushing a whole box, and I had the munchies real bad, and I was like, you know what? I might actually give a guy a run for his money. Bullshit, dude. I took out 4 sandwiches, and I ate those 4 sandwiches over the course of because obviously I ate 2 of them. I fell asleep for a little bit. Then I came down and ate another one, and then so on and so forth. But, dude, all I could taste was peanut butter all day today. And I had the worst cotton mouth. And nope, I'm out on that food challenge.
That's funny. All right. Well, I've apparently given myself, I have to do it now at this point. So we'll get that. I get to put that in my schedule. Actually, maybe make a note here. The Uncrustable Challenge. I got to do that. And then another person also wants me to do a Pop-Tart challenge because of my affinity for Pop-Tarts back on the day when I was mowing down cases of Pop-Tart or whole 6-packs of Pop-Tarts during a break. When I was on the show.
What are you going with? Old school brown sugar cinnamon or strawberry?
Strawberry or cherry, maybe both of those. I do love both of those. Maybe a brown sugar to mix it up.
Cherry flavored one.
Ooh, they're good, man. I love cherry stuff, man. That's my new thing. I'm obsessed with red licorice, the red vines, the old school, like they look like crappy licorice, but they're so freaking good. I love them. We got another phone call here. Let's see what we got. Hi, you're on another Dumb Show. Who's this?
Hey, Dumb, this is Chef T. I just got a pro tip for you.
Pro tip?
These Uncrustables. Here's what you want to do. You want to grab one. You want to dunk it in French toast batter and make PB&J French toast.
Oh, I thought you were saying that to do that for the challenge. Like while I was like doing that to like help me get them down faster. I was like, oh God, I get salmonella, bro. But no,
you don't want to do that. But
that sounds delicious, though. I tell you what, because I do make
it is so good.
I make a mean stuffed French toast. That's one of the things that I would make for B1 when she was living here and we were, doing the whole Ozzy and Harriet thing. That was an old reference.
All right, well, this is just a shortcut then for you. Since you're already doing the stuffed French toast, this is a little shortcut for you.
Right on. Well, thank you, Chef T. I appreciate that. Are you an actual chef?
I am, sir.
That's fantastic. What's your specialty?
Well, I cook all American food at this point, but I pretty much hit every kind of cuisine you could imagine.
That's cool. Do you do anything fun stuff? Like you using any of the nitrogen or sous vide, any of that stuff, or just old school grills and flat tops and all that good stuff?
Well, you would think that, but I have semi-retired literally into an independent living community. So I'm just cooking a bunch of gruel for old folks.
There you go. Peas and carrots, right?
That's it. It pays my bills, though.
God love you.
I don't have to work till 1 a.m.
No, hell, dude, that's actually probably not a bad gig, especially if you worked in the food industry forever, because that is such a stressful job. That ticket machine going off, just over and over and over and filling up. It gives me
nightmares are made of that.
Absolutely. I mean, I would literally after my shift, I would be dreaming about that ticket thing going off. I spent a lot of time understand that must be a great gig now. Just making food for old people.
I worked at a lot of extremely busy, popular restaurants, and I just couldn't take it anymore. So this is the life for me, and they pay real well. I didn't know that until now, or I would have joined the gang a long time ago.
Well, that's fantastic. I'm happy to hear that you found a second life doing the same kind of career, and it's doing good money, and you're happy with it. That's great news. I love hearing that kind of stuff. Good for you, bro.
All right, love you guys. Have a good one.
All right, Chef. Thank you for the advice on the French toast PB&J. I think that sounds delicious. I think that's something I'll have to give a try.
Does.
Yeah, that sounds like some yummy, tasty stuff. Because, like I said, I do make that
powdered sugar. I'm starving now. Damn it.
Well, I make that stuffed French toast where I make I'll get some actual some berries, and I'll mush them all up, and I'll put like cinnamon on or some sugar on them, and I'll mash them all up into like a thing, and then I put cream cheese in it, and I whip all that up.
Ooh.
So it's like fresh berry whipped cream cheese, and I put that in the stuff into the I make. Hello. Welcome to Another Dumb Show. I'm Another Dumb Show host. Thank you for joining us this evening on issue number 96. Thank you for streaming on my tube tonight. It's so good to have everybody here with me. I hope you guys had a great day today. I had a great day. It was actually a really good day today. I got a lot of stuff done. You'll notice, you'll see I replaced the broken camera. I was able to get to the store today. Spent way more money than I wanted to, but I got a pretty nice camera. I'm pretty happy with the results. So if I ever do get somebody to come here and sit on a second seat or something like that, if there was somebody ever wants to come hang out or whatever, I actually got a pretty decent little camera there now. So I'm pretty happy with it. So welcome, guys. I'm thankful to have all of you here this evening. Big shout out to Brap being first in the chat. Vina Rena, are you dreaming in your sleep over there? What are you whining about, honey? Anyway, she was just whining. I don't know if you guys heard that, but I do have my main man Mikey here, not in studio here in Studio Struts, but he is live from the Skolatorium. I just made that up right now. The Skolatorium. I thought that's pretty cool. Yeah,
I like it.
There you go, the Skolatorium. So welcome, dude. How are you, man? How was your day?
I feel like shit.
What's wrong?
I have no idea. I had like an allergy attack last night. I didn't get any sleep. I think I slept a total of about 2.5 hours.
Oh, dude, I think you got to lay off. I think you got to lay off the boomers, man. I think that's what it is. I think you're getting too much fun guys, and that's what's keeping you up at night.
There was no boomers last night. There was no boomers at all yesterday.
Oh, I just think it's maybe just in your system, and you're just having a hard time getting it through, and it's just keeping you awake. Sorry, guys, my nose is running too, but
yeah. Now, what happens for me, man? Like when I get like congested or something like that, I instantly go into like this panic mode because as soon as like if you're congested and I lay down flat, my nose instantly goes to plugged completely, and if my nose is plugged completely, like in my brain, I've only got one way to breathe. That's through my mouth. And what if something happens to my mouth and then I can't breathe through my nose and then I sit there and I choke and die? Like that's what's going to happen to me. When I can't breathe through my nose, I'm going to choke and die. Like it is impending doom. It is going to happen.
You start freaking out, right?
It kept me up pacing all night last night. The only way I was able to alleviate it was chew on ice. And
Jeez,
it would make my
Louise,
sinuses unswell.
Oh my God.
So I chewed on ice laying on my back in my bed for like 4 hours.
What about an allergy pill, like some Claritin or some? I just was talking to my mom today about needing all that stuff. Like not Benadryl. Benadryl. No, fuck Benadryl. I mean like an actual allergy pill.
I took Claritin. I took Loratadine.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So, and that probably helped more than the ice that just finally kicked in and started to work. Like.
No, it didn't. Nothing fixed. It just my right nostril just unplugged about 25 minutes ago.
Well, that's good. Well, I just got everything up and working about 25 minutes ago when I bought this new camera. I plugged it in and I had
it looks nice.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm pretty happy with it, actually. It's not bad looking at all. It definitely looks better than that other one for sure. I was thinking about putting it in a different spot, but I was like, yeah, you know what? This is the thing. That's the baby. So. Maybe if somebody sits there, I'll readjust it. But for now, that's the way it's going to go. But yeah, this whole thing, wasn't sure if we were going to be working for a little bit because when I plugged that thing in, it didn't work at first. And so I unplugged another cord to plug that one and then just switched USB cords, not thinking about what I was doing. And that just fucked up the whole audio. Well, the audio wasn't working properly. And I was like, oh my God. So I started freaking out. But then I literally just... I restarted the computer about 5 times, and then all of a sudden it just was like everything just clicked and registered, and like all the USBs just started registering where they were supposed to be, and bam, it was good to go. So we are up and running and ready to rock and roll. I'm going to be honest with you, though, Mikey, you were saying you're not feeling very good. It seems to be going around. I see Brat is saying he's not feeling very good in the chat. And I am currently battling the toothache is back. Right after I got everything back up and working again, and the phones are working. I got Frank. I'll grab you here in a sec. 44. I almost gave out my phone number. 844 hit dumb. 844 448-3862.
Wondering what the hell you were doing right
So
there.
if you want to call into the show, it's 844-HIT-DUMB, and I'll grab you there in a sec, Frank. Looks like the phones are working. But yeah, man, right as I was, while I was working on all that, I was in so much pain. I was sitting here going, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the show. I was that close. I was this close to canceling tonight's show because my teeth, my mouth and this tooth is hurting so bad. So I popped, I took 1,200 milligrams of Advil to try to, just to take the edge off. And I went upstairs and I used my water pick and everything just to see if there's something in there stuck or something. And that hurt like hell. So I don't know if I do have a cavity and just way down low and water only got to it when I'm like, is it possible you can get a cavity other than like on the top of your tooth?
Yeah, you can get a little holes in your teeth anywhere.
That's what I'm wondering.
You might have an abscess on the root of your teeth or something like that if the gums are all swollen around the tooth.
No gum swelling at all. That's the thing. No swelling, nothing. Just this horrible tooth pain right now. So I took some Oragel and actually put it on a tooth flosser and started rubbing it in between my teeth, just to try to get everywhere, just to like be able to tolerate it and get through the show. And I'm okay. I'm all right now. So it's sore, but I'm gonna be okay. I shall live, I believe. But so yeah, I mentioned I talked to my mom a little bit earlier too, and I'm just so happy for her. She called me and woke me up this morning. Brap says that definitely sounds like a cavity that I have in there. So we'll see. I think I'm definitely going to call a dentist tomorrow or something because it's not seeming to get any better. And I tend to try to wait on things to see if they'll get better. And it's not working. So, I do have some emails. I'll get an email here and let's get to the email in a sec, but I did get a phone call from my mom this morning, and I'm really proud of her. I bust my mom's balls a lot and stuff, and over the years, and the drunk as a skunk, and we've had our ups and downs in our relationship and everything, and but I definitely love her so much, but I'm just super proud of her right now. She called me this morning and told me that she got her car paid off, so that is really great news that she was able to do that. I know she's been working hard on trying to get herself, get everything straight with herself. And I know she started talking to me today about trying to get rid of some stuff around her house and trying to clean it up a little bit more. And
way to go, Bish.
Yeah, I'm super proud of her, and she's on like a really good track right now. And I just wanted to, I feel like I just kind of crap on her too much and I don't give her enough props. And so I wanted to give my mom some props. So good job, Mom. I'm very proud of you, and you should be proud of yourself. Yeah, and the car's only got like 85,000 miles on it too. So
oh, shit.
Yeah, and it's a Toyota something, like one of the smaller Toyotas. I can't remember, but but it's a good little solid little car. I've driven it, and so she's in great. She's doing great. So, and CB says, "Dumb, you should follow in your mom's shoes and pay your car off too." I'm working on it. I got a little bit more to go on mine. I don't know if I have quite enough just to dump and pay it off in one big sump or one big lump sum or anything. Like,
you need a pneumatic powered steering wheel and pedals. Don't worry about paying off your real car. Let's worry about building your fantasy car. Okay.
Thank you, Mikey. Now we've got somebody thinking with their head screwed on straight and thinking clearly. I mean, that's obviously
here to co-sign all shit.
I tell you what, Mikey, if you're right, I tell you what, it's like you're in my head because I was actually, or you or Instagram or somebody is in my head because I was actually, when I was talking to my mom this morning, and the weirdest thing happened. What is going on with over there? Are you okay?
Is that a squeak from Darla?
Yeah, she just stood up, and I said she was making a weird noise earlier, and then she just did it again. Oh, that's so weird. Are you okay? What's going on over there?
Tail's wagging. Not coming over to see you.
Are you okay? You scared me when you did that noise. I didn't like that. Why don't you go? I wonder if she just had a bad dream or something. But man, that freaked me out. Anyway, speaking of being freaked out, so I'm talking to my mom on the phone, and I don't know how it came up. Somehow we started talking about racing because my mom and I are always talking about racing. And by the way, Lewis Hamilton re-signed his F1 contract, so him and George Russell will be driving for Mercedes through 2026, which is big news in the F1 world. So just thought I'd drop that in. But anyway, speaking of racing, my mom brings up this ARCA racing series, which is like the NASCAR's kind of like their junior circuit, basically, where people who like are amateur drivers get an opportunity to try to work their way into
I remember
up in the
that
NASCAR.
when I was younger, they were all racing in like Pontiac Trans Ams.
Yeah, well, my mom was telling me that they use older NASCARs, like the ones that they get rid of, which I don't.
Yep.
I didn't know that was the case, but I'll take take hers and your word for it. But
I'm just agreeing with Bish, so
okay.
I don't know for sure.
Well, the
Sounds
weirdest thing about that was while I'm on the phone with her and she's talking to me about the ARCA racing series, I get a notification on my phone for like a news story. And I was actually on speakerphone with her, so it was sitting right in front of me. So I just swiped on the news story to see what it was.
Yep.
And it was about the ARCA racing series and how the actor from Malcolm in the Middle, Frankie Muniz, is now a driver in the ARCA series.
So, I thought that dude had some type of like memory problem and like he didn't remember shit. Like there was all kinds of like mental issues with him.
No, he's been driving. That may be the case, but he now drives for the ARCA in this ARCA racing series, and apparently he's not terrible. He's had a couple top 5 and a couple top 10s, I think.
Shit.
Yeah, I couldn't believe. So I was just two things at once, blown away that immediately their Instagram and our phones or everything are just listening to and you get immediate reaction. Instantaneous. 10 seconds after she brings it up, I get a notification about it. And then the weirdness of what the story is friggin' Malcolm in the Middle is a race car driver now. It just blew my mind. I don't know if this is common knowledge, but it was definitely news to me when I found it out.
I thought the dude was disabled someplace.
I didn't know whatever happened to him. I did find this video of him getting into what looks to be some sort of stock car. I don't know. I'm assuming it's part of the Menards ARCA series because it says Menards on the car. So I couldn't find any of him actually racing, but I was able to find this video of him climbing into a car. So there he goes. That's Malcolm in the Middle right there. Now a race car driver. You see him in the full race car getup. Got the racing, the fireproof suit on and everything, getting his helmet on. And this is at Kansas. So I'm assuming this is pre-race, or I don't know if they're doing promo shots or something like that, but apparently the guy does some racing now. So I thought that was a pretty interesting story to find out that
cool.
old Malcolm in the Middle. Yeah. I mean, I hope he, because I know there were some weird stories about him. I can't remember what it was. What was the memory loss story? Now that's kind of ringing a bell.
I thought he had some type of like amnesia or some type of mental issue where he couldn't remember things. And
well, that's not good in racing. You need to remember the tracks and the turns.
Maybe I'm confusing him with Bruce Willis. Like, I don't know. I thought there was some news articles about Frankie Muniz falling off mentally and declining or something like that.
Okay, so you're right. Here you go. So here's a quote from him. It says, "I'm not really sure how my memory loss started. I've had 9 concussions. I've had a fair amount of mini strokes. TIA is what they're called. Transient ischemic attacks." Okay, so there you go.
I've had a couple of them too. How the fuck do he have them?
Interesting. So, well, that's not good. You can't be a good, I guess, unless you're just driving in circles. If you're only, if you're only doing those tracks,
left turn.
That you don't really need to remember the track too much. As far as this one's a left, this one's a right. This is a big banking turn, or this, totally different than I guess a road course. So that wouldn't make sense. Just on, not that probably anybody really cares. I just found that to be a really interesting story about because especially since I love racing now. Now I got a new thing I got to try to figure out how to watch Frankie
You're gonna be
Muniz.
entrenched in racing, man. You're
I
gonna have
know.
to get yourself a checkered flag tattoo and all kinds of cool shit.
That's some poser shit. If you're not an actual race car driver, I think when you get a checkered flag, that's some poser shit.
You are a race car driver. You be setting up in your living room every day.
I wish I could. It's a pain in the ass to get that thing all set up. I gotta get a.
Oh, dude.
I mean,
Even with the one I have is a pain in the ass to set up. I gotta drag it upstairs. I gotta set the seat down, and then I gotta get into the game. And then I sweat, dude. Like when I'm using the steering wheel, like I'm sweating. Like, it's not like it's not like it's an easy task or something like that. Like I'm driving a car.
yeah. I do get it does get intense. I realize like my hand, because I had that from when I punched that stupid window like an idiot when I had that road rage. When I race now, I get a pain right here because my hand is cocked just right on that wheel to where it just puts just a weird little pressure point that it starts to irritate the hell out of my hand. So yeah, I guess, I mean, it does get intense, man. I feel like I don't know if I've started sweating just yet, but I'm still practicing and I'm rapping after about, 20 laps at the most. I don't have time to be knocking out 72 lap races. That I just can't invest that much time. And I'm not that good yet because I got to keep reflashing back.
Oh, it's got to be like less than 20 minutes here, like sub 1 minute lap times.
Yeah, roughly. I mean, yeah, there's some of them. It depends on the track, but they're all right around there. They're all right around a minute 20, minute 30 for some of them. A minute. Yeah, they're all depends on the track. Yeah, that's interesting story about Frankie Muniz and racing. So we'll see what happens. Maybe there is a future for me after all if I can get it together. Speaking of people who do have a future, I have an email here. This is from Strawberry Charlie, who I now feel very bad I didn't mention. He says, "Hey, dumb, me and the missus and the junior strawberries are all alive. We had to evacuate to a friend's house, unfortunately, but we're all safe. I haven't been able to get back to my house to assess the damage, but hopefully soon. Hopefully power will be restored. Also, catch you soon." I didn't even realize that Strawberry Charlie was in Florida and that he was down there dealing with that. He hasn't been in the chat. Strawberry Charlie is an official member of the League of Dummies, and of course, you can become a member of the League, an official member of the League of Dummies, by clicking the join button. It's $1.99, Jesus, a month, and it's a great way to help support me and another dumb show. So, Strawberry Charlie is an official member, and I was mentioning CB, another member who lives down there, and we were glad to see her back and doing okay down during Hurricane Idalia. But it seems as though Strawberry had to deal with it. Now, CB is saying that she believes Strawberry is near Miami, but if he had to evacuate, that's nowhere near where the actual hurricane hit. So I don't know if he was getting the bands coming off the edges and it was clipping Miami too. I don't know if he was just worried about a potential storm surge because Miami's so low. I'll have to see when he gets back. So I'm glad to hear, though, that he is okay and everything is going to be going well for him. Now, I did see, Mikey, do you know, and I'm not going to spend all night on this, so don't get all worried about talking about football all night, guys, because you get all worked up in the chat.
Oh,
when I start
come
talking
on.
football.
Give me a little half a chub right now, just even mentioning the F word.
Who in our league has Cooper Kupp? Do you remember?
He went hurt. I do not remember who has him. I know I don't have him.
How can I find that out? Go to add players.
You should just be able to go to search players.
On rosters.
Search Cooper Kupp.
There we go.
Yep.
He is on. What is that? Whose team is that? He's on Go Cup Yourself. That is Chris K.
Is there bad news about Cooper Kupp?
That is Chris K's team. Yeah, Cooper Kupp has. There is news about him. He is now questionable with his. Where is the information about him? I just saw it right before we started. I think he is day to day right now. Yeah, his hamstring injury is back. He's had a setback with his hamstring injury. So that is a big one for Chris K because looking at his team, let's take a peek here. That is his number one, but he's got Stephon Diggs as his backup and Christian Kirk as a backup and OBJ. So he might be okay. He's got a pretty decent bench, it looks like, there as far as behind his backups there. So Chris K, if you're watching, sorry to hear about your number one being day-to-day with a hamstring injury setback.
I'd be more worried anyways if you're a fan of LA or trying to root for LA with that story that came out about Matt Stafford and not being able to relate. I just fucking did that breathing thing again.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. You can't change how you breathe. I'm not sweating about it. I don't notice it. I mean, it's gonna happen. You're just gonna breathe. I smack my lips and say every 35 seconds. So there you go. Perfect example. So go right ahead, Mikey. What were you saying?
The fact that Matt Stafford can't relate to any of his teammates. They all get on their phone right away. So he had his wife make a book of faces.
Learn them. A pop-up book,
yeah,
like a yearbook. The 2023 Rams yearbook. She put together for him, so you'd be able to flip through and tell who was who and everything.
Old man Stafford.
That's not good. That's not good at all. That shows the difference between him and Aaron Rodgers. You watch that Hard Knocks thing, and Aaron Rodgers is saying going around at lunch and sitting with different people at lunch, or claiming that you should do that.
Aaron Rodgers is eating mushrooms with that entire team. They're all doing ayahuasca on the weekends. They're smoking a ton of weed. That team is legit.
Yeah, I think they're probably definitely. I'm sure they're burning down, especially with that thing with him and Sauce with that little kiss thing they do with the smoke or the handshake thing, or they do. So I did watch the last episode of Hard Knocks last night, episode 4, I believe it was. That was pretty good. Aaron Rodgers did you watch that? Did you see him getting chippy?
I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it yet. I did see I saw the clip of him getting chippy on like Bleacher Report or something like that.
It was good. It was entertaining, but that's a really good show. I'm enjoying this season of Hard Knocks. I like that they seem to have lightened it up a little bit, if that makes sense. Like they even are letting Liev Schreiber. I never remember.
Schreiber.
The guy who does the voice of the show, the voice of God. They even let him joke a little bit now. When he's doing like telling the story and stuff, they're almost letting a little bit more of his personality come through, which was cool.
The fourth wall too, or whatever they call it, because you've like seen him in the man behind the camera, and the voice of God showed up to the practice field and stuff like that.
It was entertaining. It was very good. So, speaking of our fantasy thing, I do have a quick question to ask, and I'm not digging into stats or anything like that, so don't get worked up, guys. We never did come up with what anybody, if we do have a last place, quote, punishment. You know what I mean? Like, because, usually in most fantasy football leagues, there's like, we played that guy that he had to play a round of golf with his buddies wearing a skirt because he came in last place in their fantasy football league. And then he hit a hole-in-one while he was doing it. So we have to come up. So, of course, I feel like it would be fun to come up with something. And it doesn't have to be something horrible, like I blast everybody with paintball guns or I get blasted with paintball guns. It doesn't need to be something horribly painful or anything like that. Or humiliating. Attack or lifelong. It doesn't need to be anything like that. So there are some fun ideas that actually Chris H came up with. I liked this idea. Last place has to perform an open mic night at a local comedy club. That's brutal. The IHOP challenge. Stay at an IHOP for 24 hours, and for every pancake eaten during the time there, 1 hour comes off the remaining time you have to stay. That's sweet. That's a lot of fun. I love that. I could be gone in.
That's not bad.
I could be gone in 25 minutes, maybe.
I think I could definitely get like 18 pancakes down, so I only have to sit there for 6 or 7 hours.
You could post selfie to Reddit and just let the viewers just roast you about how you look. We do that every day, so I don't know. That wouldn't be much of a punishment for you or I. And this one is always very fun. Is being featured in a calendar each month, being in the theme of the ESPN body issue.
Oh God.
I thought that was good. There was another one. I think somebody said some sort of hot sauce challenge, doing shots of hot sauce, or that one chip challenge with that super duper hot chip that Pacquiao chip that you can do. That's like got the ghost peppers in it. Or we could do something where we could put a few of them on a wheel and spin the wheel and see what happens. And if like, that
punishment wheel. I like it.
Yeah. We could have anything from, we could go through the league and maybe we put, 5 or 6 things together, and one of going kind of from hardcorest to tamest. And then maybe if we spin the wheel, and everybody have to be in agreement on it. Cause again, I'm not trying to force anybody to do anything they don't want to do. But if they're into it and we could have a little bit of fun with it, I think that would be a great move. If we could do a little, punishment at the end of it. Brap Attack says an XLX challenge. You have to run a mile without crapping your pants. JLR style.
No,
that's not JLR
way,
style.
man.
I'm the one that runs and craps their pants, not JLR. That's me.
Kidding me? I just shit myself last week sitting on the edge of my van. You want me to run around after eating some X-Lax?
Oh man, that story made me laugh. I was just scrolling through files and I saw just the name of that Mikey sharded at work, and I started laughing so hard. That story made me laugh.
Dude, it was so bad, man. Like
I loved it.
And it's like the shits ain't getting no better because all I do is drink 30 ounces of coffee every morning. So it's not like it's getting any better. I can't fart in peace at all. I just walk around in constant fear.
That's not a good thing. It's not a good thing when you're walking around puckering all the time, my dude. It's a problem.
It's a horrible feeling, dude.
So right now you have, all right, okay. All right, well, speaking of an email, I did get an email. I just read that email from Strawberry Charlie. I do have an email about Mikey, and we'll get into that here a little bit later on. But speaking of memory loss with Malcom in the middle and people whose brains might not be working right, I think the doctor who works for the Congress, his brain is not working right. Because apparently they've deemed one Mitch McConnell, Mr. Freeze is what we'll call him from now on, the Mr. Freeze. And I don't mean to make fun of the guy, but I guess I am. They've decided that he's okay. After examining him, the attending physician of the Congress of the United States, Dr. Brian P. Monahan, MD, professor of medicine and pathology, has said that I have consulted with Leader McConnell and conferred with his neurology team. After evaluating yesterday's incident, I have informed Leader McConnell that he is medically clear to continue with his schedule as planned. Occasional lightheadedness is not uncommon in concussion recovery and also can be expected as a result of dehydration.
Oh my God, always with the dehydration.
You've got to be fucking kidding me, man. I mean, dude, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever read. Dehydrated? He was just dehydrated?
A couple tacos short of a platter. Like, he completely just went catatonic. Like, just straight up.
Twice. Now, they did mention that it is occasional lightheadedness is not uncommon in concussion recovery. And he did have a concussion back on, I believe in March. So...
yeah, it was like March or April, so we're talking 6 months ago.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And there's some sort of problem. This guy needs to go in and get a CAT scan or something like that. Yeah. I mean, what are they talking about? What neurology tests did they do? What neurological tests did they do? Just ask him how he's feeling? And can you touch your finger to your nose, Senator, or whatever you are?
That's about it.
Unbelievable, man. Something has to be done about this at this point. I don't know if we need to go back to the tests like you were saying, Mikey, or what. But this dude is...
some type of aptitude test when you hit like 65 or 70 years old to prove that you still got it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and it's so...
you can't just be handled by your handlers and everything like that. And what, they're just going to keep this dude alive the same way they are with Biden, just tweak his medication, make sure they give him his amphetamine a little bit earlier to keep him awake?
Well, I don't know what to do at this point. I totally lost my train of thought what I was going to say, but at some point something has to be. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I was watching on the news, and even on the news they're dancing around. They're afraid of calling him old. Like they're I guess there was some teen vote or teen now or whatever they're called. But they came out condemning McConnell, and the gerontology we're living in is what they called it, where it's like a system of government that's run by the elderly, and
Yeah.
we're kind of living in that right now. I think if you're looking at, we got Biden, we got this guy, we got Feinstein, we got other ones in there that are super old. When the youngest people we're talking about are like McCarthy and them, and they're in their mid-50s. I don't know if that's really representative of I don't know what the age, maybe with the baby boomers, I don't know, maybe that does represent the actual population of our country. But I just find the whole thing to be,
geriatric drool and.
Well, you're right. We just look like idiots on the national stage, and then we come out again and just like
clear him for action.
Clear him to come back
in there, Mitch. Smack him on the ass. He's good to go.
You're perfectly fine. So we will see him again. We'll see what's going to happen if he's going to have another freeze up again in the near future. I don't know. I have no idea. But I do. Speaking of updates, though, I know it was an update to a story we talked about yesterday. The ongoing saga of the airplane freakout lady continues because, Mikey, I found another video. The video we watched the video the other day. Body cam video of Tiffany Gomas, the airplane freakout lady. That mother effer right there is not real. This chick. Now, we saw a body cam video of her, and in this body cam video, she talked about the other guy who she sat next to on the plane. And remember, they were talking about how 2 people got escorted out, Mikey, and we were wondering, well, where's that other person?
That other cop said you and that gentleman got escorted off the plane.
Now, there is a video of another person who got escorted off the plane. Do we know? However, the video is claiming that this is the person who was next to her and caused all the problems.
The one that stole her AirPods.
There's a discrepancy, though, based on prior evidence we've gotten. So let's watch this video and see where the rabbit hole goes tonight.
Oh, perfect. This is the man that was sitting next to the woman on the plane, and I'm going to show you guys the footage from the body cams of the police officers when they talk to him.
Yeah, she just pushing me like, you are the part of the, I don't know who's talking to in the phone. Okay. So I was just sitting right here, and she just coming to me. Pushing me, and then she just...
Did she say anything before that to you?
No? No.
And you didn't say anything to her?
No.
Are you okay? You hurt?
Yeah.
No, I'm okay. You sure?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I owe my flight, so it's just going to be like a minute, 20 minutes. Okay. So that assault mean, what does that mean?
Assault? It means to attack, to fight somebody, to push them, or to bring some kind of harm, bodily injury.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. No, she just pushed me.
You don't want to do anything about it?
It's okay.
Okay. All right.
I'm okay.
Wow. A normal human being. Holy crap. So,
well,
I am very confused right now. Normal as normal can be. But in the sense that he was like, hey, look, no harm, no foul. She was obviously something was wrong with this chick. I'm not going to press charges. So normal in that sense, I guess. Maybe a little level-headed is a better description of him. But I don't understand who the hell this guy is. This guy's getting ready to board a plane. She'd been removed from a plane. This guy still got his ticket and his boarding pass in his pocket. Who the hell is this guy? Is this just some guy that she pushed when she
was getting escorted off the plane or something like that? That's who this was.
It doesn't make any sense.
With him from there?
Or is just as some other random person when after she got escorted off, she shoved? This is what I don't understand.
She was on a rampage being dragged out. I want to, man. I
It's
got
like,
more questions than I had before.
it never stops with this story. It just, and this story, this video came out, I guess, like actually almost a week ago, and I never saw it. I don't know how I missed it. I Google her name every day because I just need to know. I'm not kidding you. I'm obsessed with Tiffany Gomas because I don't know what is going on with this story because she will not just tell the fucking truth already. Now we've got other people involved. The last time we heard what the person looked like, this is what they looked like. Do you remember this? You actually probably don't. I don't think you were here that day.
The hoodie guy, right?
Yes. Oh, actually. Super boof. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I forgot you sent me that earlier.
Yes, but here, check this out. Here's the video that is of Green Hoodie, who was supposedly next to her on the plane. Now, there's no audio, but again, there he is, Green Hoodie. That doesn't look like the guy who we just saw in the video. And in fact, I don't see anybody who looks like the guy. Well,
no.
The guy behind him, maybe? Is that a balding kind of whatever ethnicity that guy was?
No, that definitely ain't him. I just did that breathing thing again. God damn it.
It's okay. Don't even no need. Don't worry. The chat will point it out for you, Mikey. Don't need to point it out.
I know.
They'll handle pointing it out. So right there. No, that looks like somebody with glasses on.
We don't know whether or not that was him, anyways. The guy in the green hoodie.
We don't know anything. We don't know anything. We don't know anything, Mikey. This is what I'm saying. Now we're getting people who are posting videos claiming they know who's who, and it never stops with this story. It's like every day there's a new thing for me to try to figure out. I can't get enough of it. I love it, and it's not just because she's moderately attractive either. I promise you. I know that guys. I know I'm a caveman, guys, but this time the actual
it's because she's
the brain is
improving.
The big head is actually improved. I guess because they're not doing a good job because there's all kinds of stories coming out about him right now too. So they're not doing a very good job covering that up because
they got to get Tiffany Gomas back on a plane.
There's all kinds of weird emails coming out and stuff. So the Bidens, they're in trouble potentially. I mean, they're talking about potential impeachment for him now with all this new email stuff that they're coming out because all the different claims.
So great.
All the different
claims. For our country, back-to-back impeachments.
Oh, I thought you were being serious. Like that's a great thing. I'm like, no, come on, man. There's nothing good about it, either the first one or the second one. So, so yeah, they could potentially be in trouble. We'll see what happens with that. But I want to. Speaking to somebody else who might be in some trouble, 50 Cent, one of my all-time favorite rappers, 50.
He's on tour right now.
He's definitely on tour, and that tour might be getting cut short. Well, I did see he canceled a show a couple nights ago in Arizona because it was like 115 degrees, so he didn't want to deal with that heat. And then I believe this was in I think LA. Let me double check that actually. Yeah, this was in Los Angeles last night. 50 Cent did a show, and I can't mute it. I can't play the music because he's rapping his music, and I can't play 50 Cent's music on our show. But what I want you to do is I'm going to play this video, and I want you guys to keep your eye on the person right in the front here. You can't miss him, to be honest with you. So here is 50 Cent. He's doing a concert in LA, and that's him. The guy in the red, you're going to think is 50. You're going to think in the background that's 50 because he's in the front and he's wearing the red or whatever. But the person that is 50 Cent is actually the guy directly you're looking right at. And you can actually see on
wearing the 50 chain.
I was just about to say, you can actually see his necklace where it says 50. So you can tell it's him. Now, watch what 50 Cent does here and keep an eye on the microphones. So he walks over He's trying to hand a microphone to someone. He flips it down, really pissed off. Then somebody comes up and gives him another microphone. And now he's microphoneless. Then he comes back around. There seems to be, boom, right there.
Just like throwing that first pitch out.
So you'll see. That's a very good point, Mikey, because 50 Cent, I forgot, he's got an infamous very bad first pitch, right? Where he tries to throw and just completely misses. Totally misses the catcher's mitt, go nowhere near what he's aiming for, right?
Goes towards like first base, I'm pretty sure.
Right. Well, if you watch the video, and I think they slow it down again here, or play it again here for you, you'll see he's yelling at like his sound crew, obviously, right? Because it's something to do with the microphones. So somebody hands him another microphone, and he comes back around. And you can see there, I actually stopped it right as he gets pissed off. He tries to use it, doesn't work, and weird left-hand throw. Sorry if you're lefty. I'm just kidding. Throws it, and he's trying to hit one of his sound people. And sadly, when you're on stage in the dark, trying to throw at somebody in the dark, you're probably, thank you, TMZ, you're probably going to miss.
Gonna whack somebody in the face.
Yes. In fact, it really sucks when you hit somebody who's not, in fact, just a regular old fan. When you hit somebody who is the Power 106 radio host, Brianna Monaghan, who has now filed a police report because,
come on,
Mikey, I got to be honest with you on this one. I don't think I could blame her. Look at this girl's head. She took it pretty bad. She's got a big gash in her head. This won't zoom in because of the way I'm. Let's do this. You look at that gash in her head. I mean, that's a big chunk out of this girl's head. Right in the middle of it, that's a lifelong scar. Right in the middle of your freaking forehead, man. And I saw another.
It's a good 50 Cent story.
I saw. What are you going to tell? That's the thing to be excited about. Like every time somebody goes, "How'd you get that scar?" You could be like, "Oh,
unit."
If you're real when you see me. So that girl, and I saw a picture of what she looks like normally. She reminds me of another radio host I know who's got an excessively large forehead. You can't miss this girl's forehead. Mine's actually starting to grow too, so I can't make fun of anybody because I'm starting to get a pretty bad one too, based on my
That's why
receding
50
hairline.
hit it. He threw a microphone at a billboard.
It's like a barn door. Exactly right. You can't miss it. But so this girl is going to get paid, obviously, and he's now facing. I forgot to mention he's now facing criminal felony battery charges by the Los Angeles Police Department.
It's LA, so he'll get a ticket and they'll let him out, so he'll be fine. Bail reform.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to spend any time in jail or anything like that, but I mean, he could potentially get a felony on his record, which isn't cool.
It's good for street cred.
I know another person who was worried about that happening after an incident with throwing something off of a stage that got pretty ugly at one point in time, which I won't go too deep into, but I'm sure you guys can, if you've got good memories, you can figure that out. That's what it reminded me of, because that's like the one rule I was given was do not throw anything off the stage was the one rule I remember being given. So I heed that rule whenever I'm on stage. I do not throw anything. And what's his name? 50 Cent could be in some trouble. I mean, a felony's not good. Whether you get that on, whether you, he's going to have to tell this girl, look, please drop these charges. I don't need a felony. I will give you a lot of money. And otherwise, he doesn't want a felony on his record. Nobody wants that because, 50 rock rolls. He's strapped. So if he gets caught strapped with a felony.
He's in the news now. It's perfect publicity for his movie that comes out in September.
Yeah. So what movie?
He's the new star in the Expendables 4.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. I saw the preview for that in one of the
Him and Megan Fox and Sylvester Stallone and Jason
That's right.
Statham. And
What movie was I at that I saw it? Was it Oppenheimer? Because I did see. I remember I said there weren't really good previews actually before Oppenheimer, but there were a couple actually good ones. There was Gran Turismo, maybe that one, and then like a scary movie that looked pretty good actually too. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was, but there were some decent. It looked like some fairly decent movies coming out when I saw that. So, speaking of movies, I did something nice today. When I sat down to do some work, and I'm not saying this to brag. It actually just popped in my mind, and I'm not humble bragging, but I actually did something nice for someone today. I thought about another person for once. I woke up. I came down here. I started doing some work on my computer, and it was on the phone with my mom. After the whole ARCA thing that happened, I noticed a tweet popped up, and it had something to do with Taylor Swift. And apparently Taylor Swift has she's doing her big Eras tour concert right now, and every girl in the world pretty much wants to go to this, and only a select few were able to go to it. B1 like lives and breathes Taylor Swift, and she is just obsessed and watched all the concert videos like the dude from Rochester. So this tweet popped up and it said that the Eras Tour concert movie tickets have now gone on sale. So I was like, that's probably something that's affordable that I could maybe do nice for B1. And I think she's at work, so she's not even going to know about this, and these tickets are probably going to sell pretty fast, so screw it. So I clicked the button to go get online, and I started texting her saying, hey, do you want me to buy you these tickets? And then she's like, oh my God, yes, definitely. So I looked at the one theater, and it was after I'd already said I'm in the queue. I always say quay, but the queue, when I'm in the queue, I'm in the queue right now, so I think I'm in. Well, when I get into the theater and start checking the show times, the only thing that's available are all handicap things. So I was like, well, that sucks. Damn it, I feel so bad. I got her all excited. Well, then I backed out again, and I noticed they had a link to another theater available. So I was like, well, screw it. I'll check the other theater too. Open the other theater. They had this big sweet-ass XD digital theater screen. I click on that one. Boom. 3 seats available right in the front row. Right in the aisle, so you could be up there dancing and having fun and not being anybody, literally letting loose. So I was like, boom, I scooped those 3 tickets up for her. So it's for her and her best friend. And I thought she's got like a little girl group with the 3 of them right now. So I thought the third one would go. Well, I guess the third one's not really a Swiftie, so she'll end up taking somebody else. But so, yeah, I thought that was pretty cool that I was able to get those for her. And she was so excited because that girl, she needs a win right now. So like even... I know everybody's going to think I'm doing it to be a simp or kiss ass or whatever like that. It really actually is really because that girl just needs a win right now. She's had so many shitty things happen over the past 6 months, a year to her with the family stuff and animal stuff and me stuff. She just, work stuff. She just needed a dub. So I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can give this to her and make her happy. So it actually...
Sweet little gesture.
Yeah, it really truly was. It was just... She said she's going to pay me back for them, so I'm not. I guess I didn't do anything other than just facilitate getting them for her. But
you're not going to take the money though.
Probably not. I'm not really sweating her about it. It's not. It wasn't cheap, but it wasn't a bank breaker or anything like that. So, all right. I'm looking at the clock here. I did mention that we're going to take a break, or I didn't mention that we're going. I did mention that I have an email about Mikey. And I want to get into that coming up here after the break. It has something to do. I mentioned I went to the dispensary today, and kind of it all relates back a little bit to this email. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. If you've not already had a chance to hit the like button on tonight's video, please make sure you do that. I want to make sure that everybody gets those thumbs up in for me at some point. So if you haven't already done that, please take a second to thumbs up my handsome face. And of course, if you're not already subscribed, or if you're sitting there and you're going, why can't I talk in the chat? I see these great dudes. I see these members down there chatting it up. why can't I talk in there? Well, the answer is you have to be subscribed. Once you subscribe, about 10 minutes later, you'll be able to talk in the chat. You can come in here and you can comment on anything that we're talking about during the show. So we'll be happy to have you in there. And of course, if you don't have your notifications turned on, make sure you turn them on. That way you know when we go live. Every once in a while, I'll just pop on doing something other than the main show here from 7 to 9. I just maybe pop on doing after show. You never know. Sometimes I just pop on the weekend doing some racing shows or whatever. So it's, if you like watching that kind of stuff and you like watching me and the show, you might as well have your notifications turned on. So, alrighty guys, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to grab myself a deli because I can feel my mouth getting all dried out from that Orajel and stuff in there. So I got to get the pucker all lubed back up again. So we'll take a quick break. You guys want to grab your delis. Second hour is always happy hour here on Another Dumb Show. I know I don't say that all the time, but hey, the deal still stands. Second hour is always happy hour here on Another Dumb Show. So grab your delis, grab your lavender, do whatever you got to do, and we'll be right back on Another Dumb Show. Okay, welcome back to Another Dumb Show. I'm Another Dumb Show host. Thank you for joining me on issue number 95. Man, who'd have thought we'd made it this far after all the drama that happened in the past, and gosh knows, blah, 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 all that stuff. So, hey, here we are, baby, rolling along. Got you guys streaming on my tube tonight, feeling good. I hope you guys are feeling as good as I am tonight. Straight cold kicking it live like usual. Just got myself another deli. Just got a little lavender in there. Went to the dispo today. Had a nice recommendation for something to give a try, a certain strain I should give a shot. My main man Mikey suggested Super Boof. He's been talking up the Super Boof for a while.
Oh yeah.
And I finally saw it when I was searching through all the different options at the dispensary. I finally found Super Boof came to town, and I was fortunate enough that it was from one of my favorite cultivators as well. This brand name is called Farkas Farms, and they call it Bullseye is the name of the brand that they go by. But it is just some of the, I haven't seen so many crystals on stuff in a while. Very crystally, which is very nice to see. A little drier than usual. Not real sticky, which is weird to see a lot of crystals, but not sticky. Is what I'm dealing with on mine. But I don't know about yours, wherever you're getting it from, but mine tastes like I'm straight up sucking on grapefruit. And in a good way. It is, and I don't even really like grapefruit that much, but boy, the flavor on this is off the charts good. Really, really, really good. So thank you for the recommendation. Good. A creeper
glad
too.
you enjoyed it.
It snuck up on me too, because I got about halfway through the first bleezy and I was like, I don't know. And then all of a sudden it came back to me, it got passed back to me, and I realized, oh, the headband's there. There it is. It crept up on me. So it was definitely some good recommendation. Now, one of the things that happened to me when I was at the dispensary, I was walking in, when I was on the way in, I saw this guy, this older black guy wearing that older black guy hat, like the bus stop hat. I don't even know what those are called, but like the same thing the Irish dudes wear. Those I don't even know what they're called. They're hats old guys and Irish guys wear, and old black guys wear. Not the Kango hat, but the forward Kango hat. It's a Kango hat, but just forward, not backwards. Anyway, so I see him. He's kind of hobbling, and I can tell he's obviously in some pain. So we're both going to the dispensary, so I understand. So I'm trying to like slowly walk, to let him go first. But I realize this guy's moving too slow. So I pull the. Because I'm across the street, there's the only place to park. So I'm letting him walk from his car, and I realize that I can literally still cross the street and beat this guy before he really even makes it to the sidewalk if I just kind of hustle. So I do. I book it across the street, and I basically just jump right in front of the guy. And I don't think he even cared. I think he was just struggling to get there and wasn't worried about it. But I felt kind of bad. And then I got sat down in the waiting room, because the way it goes, they check you in one person at a time. Then you sit in this little waiting room with everybody before you go in the back. Oh, it's a big pain in the ass.
And that dude, there was a dispensary around here that was like that only let people in two at a time, and it was the biggest waste of time in the entire world.
Yeah, you got to wait outside the door in the rain if you really want to. Something. I mean, it can be it's not cool.
I'll go back to buying fentanyl laced weed.
Well, it's weird that you mentioned that. And the guy, what a weird thing to mention. The guy that I was sitting there with, who I saw on the way out, he came and sat down in the waiting room. We're both sitting there talking. And I actually, I forgot that I had gotten a big order one day. So I was actually running out of days. Shark, you're more than welcome to do that tonight if you want to stop by. Absolutely, you're welcome to do that and drop off those moon rocks. Absolutely, I just saw you in the chat saying that. So, yep, please, you're welcome to do that. Probably don't do it while I'm live though, because it'll get real confusing while I try to do that. But anyway, while I'm sitting there talking to the guy, we're just BSing about, because I was like, I used up all my days at this big order, so I'm running out of days, so I had to like trim back a little bit what I got. And then he says to me, he goes, well, you ain't getting any of that street weed, are you? And I was like, why? I wanted to be like, what are you fucking cop? What are you asking me that question for? I said, seriously, I was like, what are you asking me that question for? And then he goes, because I'll tell you what, them boys out on the east side, they're making that fentanyl-laced weed. And I was like, what? And I said, well, I heard that's what the politicians are all saying. He goes, oh, no, brother. That's what they're doing over on that's what them boys are doing over on the, he kept saying them boys over on the east side. Them boys over on the east side.
Kia boys?
I don't know, but he just said them boys. So I'm assuming he means on the east side of Cleveland, where most of the crime originates from around here. It was from the east side, East Cleveland, and then it moves its way. Epicenter. It was quite a bit, because we have Cleveland, and there's an actual city then right next to us, next to Cleveland, called East Cleveland, which is a pretty intensely. It's pretty bad. It's a pretty bad area, and it's a lot of crime, a lot of drugs, a lot of AIDS, a lot of prostitution. I mean, everything you could think of in a bad area. So, I was talking to him about this, and it made me, think about you, because I've gotten a lot of messages, Mikey, a lot of messages about you, bro. I actually got a message pointing out specific spots and instances in last night's episode where they're questioning your sobriety. And maybe that's the wrong version for wrong word, because obviously none of that's you're not sitting around walking around claiming to be sober. But this email I got, and I was noticing a lot of messages last night. I was just kind of rolling with it. But today I got another email, and I got where else I got something? It was on DM or something. I got something else, and I got this email. It said, this is from RVR Brett. It says, on yesterday's issue number 95, watch Mikey for 3 minutes, from 123.40 to 126.50. Stop looking at him as your friend and look at him as someone who might have relapsed.
All right.
If you watch those 3 minutes, you can see he is doing all the tricks he can to not nod out, but his eyes can't lie. And even at the end of that 3-minute segment, you can see his delayed laugh. It is a telltale sign. So I did end up going back and pulling that. And it's concerning, dude. I got to be honest with you, man. I'm getting choked up or whatever, but it worries me, man. I'm worried about you. I really am.
And I appreciate the worry, man. I really do.
So here's there's nothing else I can say other than, let me just play what happened last night. And here you go. Great show. 20-year listener, Craig in Madison. Well, thank you, dude. I appreciate that. 20 years. That's great. But yeah, Austin did a great job last night. My daughter's boyfriend, Austin, was on. He was a lot of fun. He did have some good jokes, and he was entertaining and knew what he was talking about. I did see he changed the name of his team. I made fun of him last night because he was just he was going by Austin's team. Now he's actually changed his team name and actually put a pretty funny picture to go with it. Here, let's see if I can zoom in on it so you guys can see it. Here it is. Actually, it's pretty good. He's changed to Judge Judy because he picked Jerry Judy. And he switched it over and he put a actual judge's outfit on, like Judge Judy's, and then put his face over her face. So I thought that was pretty funny. It made me laugh out loud when I saw it earlier today. So yeah, there's all the teams.
Judge Judy can stay on the bench for a little bit because Cortland Sutton's about to take that number 1 spot for a while.
As far as the receiver, because Judy's hurt, right? I think he took a little bit of a leap on Judy. But yep, there's the team. There's everybody there. Why is it not letting me? Why does this keep freezing? What is going on with my internet over here? I don't know what's going on, but my desktop keeps freezing for some reason.
I do want to say I haven't heard in the chat or heard you bring it up at all yet. about my.
Oh, that's right. Last night, everybody was. I finally noticed. This is funny. It all comes back to you when you're drunk. You forget about all this stuff. Mikey has a bad habit of going between breaths or before he talks, and then at the end of sentences. And I've actually never noticed this before, as far as that. So hold on one sec. But so yeah, did you get it fixed? Is what you're telling me, or what are you telling me?
I haven't noticed myself doing it yet. Maybe it's because I'm. Oh, I just did it again. Never mind.
All right. So here you go. Actually, real quick, since we're talking about the fantasy league, somebody just asked if we could have secret ADS mod said let's get a logo show. So here you go. Wrong button. There it is. There's mine. That I am another dumb team, and you say I got the. Anyway, that's too far zoomed out. There's too many boxes at that point to be doing that. So. The points that were being pointed out were, in essence, what I watched and what he was trying to point out. Shots like, and I could freeze frame anybody and make them look bad. Anybody, you get a freeze frame on them, you're going to look bad. But there's a lot of instances where the eyes look like that. And there are a lot of instances of
where the eyes look like that tonight.
I know. Well, yeah, but I just feel it's just, Mikey. There just seems like I know yesterday you were exceedingly tired from the night before, and I know I'm making excuses for you, and what it sounds like I am at least or whatever. But I was noticing it a little bit yesterday too. It just seemed like you were slow to reply to me last night on a lot of stuff. And I was actually thinking to myself, is there a weird delay that I'm not dealing, that is not usually there? Like, is internet slow? Like, all these things are going through my mind. Like, I'm trying to, for lack of a better phrase, make excuses for what I feel like I'm seeing in front of me. You know what I mean? In my mind, I'm just... It's going through my mind, and I'm like, because I'm seeing people talking shit in the chat, and not talking shit. I feel like people, when they are saying this stuff, they're doing it with the intention of maybe we need to get it fixed, not to try to talk shit or make Mikey feel bad. That's not the goal, I don't think. But I'm watching that happen, and I'm watching you, and I'm seeing you. Like really leaning in and eyes really closed and borderline slurring and very slow to talk and just not as kind of not boisterous isn't the right word that I'm looking for, but just as uppity as usual. Uppity is a bad word to make it sound like you're some kind of snob or something, but just upbeat. As much as you usually are. And so I kept coming through. I'm like, it was all going through my head and I'm thinking all this stuff. And I went back and watched this video and I was seeing a lot of this. And I know that's a natural tick that everybody has, but I was seeing it a lot. And I know that when
my nose a lot.
Well, I know that when the few times that I did any kind of opioids, that was the biggest thing. My nose itched the whole time. And I would nod like that. And then I would pop back up like I was bloop, 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 and then I would go back down. And there were a few moments, even just like I watched in that clip, where you were like here and then poof, and like bam on it. And then by the end of the sentence, back to here. So that's what, I noticed it. And again, it's not just the chat driving this, because I'm noticing it too, Mikey. I just haven't said anything because... Yep. I'm just because you're my dude, and I'm not trying to fucking get all up in your shit and try to like, A, accuse you of anything, and B, I don't know. I don't even know what maybe it's just the don't want to have to like, because I know, here's a perfect example. Like when I'm going through a lot of shit, I get upset because when I know, like even like it was public and stuff, like when I would working on the old show and I'd be going through something and there would be times where I'd be like, man, I wish like I would hear from a friend. But then in the back of my mind, I would be like, you know what? My friends have too many other fucking things to deal with. Like Charlie in particular, I'd actually use him as an example because while Charlie will be there for you, he's not exactly like a reach out and check on you kind of guy. He has done that with me before, But that was only after some trolls sent this awful email into the show saying that I was like suicidal and all this ridiculous, crazy shit that was just so far off the wall that he had to actually call and be like, yo, are you good? And I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm on my way to a wedding. What's up? And he told me this crazy ass email. And I was like, these psychopaths they never end. But my point in saying was like, I would get to points where I would want him to reach out to me and be like, dude, you okay? And he's not that kind of friend. You know, you almost got to present your problem to him and then he'll, check in with you. But in this instance, that's kind of where I was thinking, like, does Mikey maybe need to talk, but he doesn't want to bug me because he knows I got a million things going on. So he's like, I don't want to add more to Dom's plate, or I don't want him to think it's going to affect the show or whatever. So that's where my brain goes. So, and I hate to bring it up on the air, but I don't know how else. I don't know how else not to. It's just how I was.
The behavior is happening on the air. You know what I'm saying?
Well, not only that, I'm, much like the old boss. I can talk more easily and openly here than I can outside of here. While I am an emotional tampon and will overshare, I am much more easily able to overshare with lights and a camera and a microphone for whatever reason. It just comes more naturally to me. I don't know why. It just does. So I think that's why I took to here to bring it up. And I'm not apologizing for bringing it up because Carrie said don't apologize. And also another thing that you kept just jokingly saying, I'm like, a stint in rehab sounds like it would be great, which is also just like a sign to me that, like, obviously you don't want to go back to rehab. Nobody wants that. But it seems like everything you're dealing with in life right now is so overwhelming that a stint in rehab sounds kind of good, which scares me because could be, if life is so overwhelming that you feel like, Jesus, I just need to get away from all this. That's the time when you would break and you would start either drinking or you would start taking pills or whatever at this point. Maybe it's not that. It could be something else, another toy you found to try. We've all been down those roads. You more than a lot of people. And so that's where I'm at, dude. And again, I'm sorry for getting emotional, crying, and I just
appreciate it, man. It comes from a spot of love, and I appreciate having those type of friends around me. If I was using, I would, to be honest with you, I wouldn't admit that I was using anyways.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing too. Like, I feel like I'd be like, well, I'm talking to a wall anyway, if he is, because the brain chemistry's already changed, and we're not dealing with the Mikey that was, normal Mikey. We're dealing with
that's not the case. I'm still 5 years clean of opiates and pills.
That's good.
I overdo it. I overdo it with edibles and smoking weed on a very regular basis.
Yeah, but that's the thing though, dude. I don't know anybody who ingests more cannabis than me, and I never look like that. Like, I pride myself on looking like the most normal ass motherfucker while being the highest person in the room. It's like a badge of honor for me.
And mine's the opposite.
I can't.
No eye drops, no nothing. Walk around looking like an absolute zombie that's falling out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm fortunate that I don't get too zooted. Like, I don't get real, like this when I get high. I get red eye real bad, but I don't get too real, like the closed eye look. I don't get too bad with that. But it's been more than that, dude. Like I said, it's been like, even tonight I could tell even a little bit different. So that's what makes me wonder if it is actually, like, again, the tiredness, and like, I know you hadn't had much sleep. So literally, like, and I know, I'm not exactly fucking Bert Kreischer or Tom Segura, so I'm not exactly the funniest person in the world, and I know that. So sometimes I'm like, and it's late, and you've worked all day, and I'm like, this dude's literally falling asleep. Like, he's just fucking tired. Like,
I fall asleep. I fall asleep on this show quite a bit.
I get it. And I'll be honest with you, there are times where I had been, and like we joke about JLR falling asleep on the old show. like with the 0.2 seconds and everything, and like even during the aftermath and everything. I 100% fell asleep during the aftermath a couple times. Just literally, but it was
anywhere.
But it was 0.2 seconds. It was literally just like close my eyes for half a second and I pop right back up. And like I wouldn't miss a beat. Nobody noticed it except for me. And that was it. But it was, so I could understand that. So you're saying straight up there's no anything other than weed, some fungi, and that's it.
That's it. That's all I use.
That's it. Okay. Do you think that these muscle relaxers maybe that you're taking are overdoing it too? Like, are you overtaking those by any chance, or?
Yeah, they very well could be. I'm taking them 2 at a time, and it should be 1 a day.
It's probably okay. Well, now we're getting to maybe some root of some stuff then, because I think muscle relaxers. I
self-prescribe. If muscle relaxers help me a ton with my ribs and everything else going on right now. So those things I've been eating them like Skittles.
Now we're getting more into the realm of where my brain is at, because it's been a little bit one of these. Like when I noticed one of these, and then we were here, then we went here, then we kind of had another down, and then a flat. So that's kind of like what I feel like you've been lately. And it was a lot going on with the stuff coming up with Ollie and everything. And he's not even there yet. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think the concern is starting to even more, like, because it's ramping up on your end. So I'm worried.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Is the self-destruction happening?
I'm depressed as it is right now. I'm just depressed. Like, I can't seem to shake it. Like, right. No matter what. Like, this is part of life. Like, this is.
Well, depression. I understand that. No, trust me, I get it. I understand. Well, I just wonder. Maybe we want to work on not doing the self-prescribing as much with the muscle relaxers, because I noticed with the ribs, when the ribs started hurting, that was kind of.
My therapist said the same thing.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, then we're on the right track, because I honestly think they are affecting you. I mean, that might be what it is, dude. Seriously, because you have a moderate slur. And it looks like you're a little slow, even just with your reaction time, which is opioid-ish or muscle relaxer-ish. And is it a benzo type thing?
It's a light muscle relaxer that's also used for anxiety.
So, but is it in the benzo family?
No, it's not. No, you can't. It's not a narcotic.
Oh, see, well, that's what's strange then, because it seems to like it's preventing. It's a baclofen. Is that what you said it is?
Yeah, it's called baclofen. Baclofen.
Shark says I was on baclofen for a year, and you do get a little extra rip on top of the flower. So okay, well, I mean, that makes more sense if you're doubling them up. Then we're getting ding ding dings from Becky in here. Dave saying, please no on the muscle relaxers. Falcor said
when I say doubling up as well, I mean, like, I should be taking 1 a day at night before I go to bed. Like, I take 2 when I get home from work, and then I take 2 again before I go to bed.
Dude, that's like 4 times more than that.
Yeah, there's sometimes I take 6 in a day or 8 in a day.
Mikey, this is why I can't take any sort of benzos. This is why, like, I just had this conversation with my mom, like, why I can't. My
ribs feel better.
Yes, I can legally get Adderall, and it would probably help me, but I know I can't have it because I will abuse it. I know that Klonopin would help me before my events when I'm having my anxiety. But I also know that I love to take a lot more than one of them at a time and have a few beers, and I feel real good. So I've made very specific decisions in my life regarding those specific drugs, Mikey. So you got to look at those as being, and I'm not trying to be your dad or preach to you because I know you've been around the block, but you got to look at those as being just as dangerous, dude, and just as causing you just as much detriment potentially, because that's a lot.
Yeah, I guess so.
4 to 8 times more than you're supposed to be taking. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Makes the rib pain go away.
mix. I know, but you know what also might
It
make the
also
rib pain go away?
It also
Hold on.
makes some other pains go away too, like emotional pains and depression. It makes those kind of
Sure.
melt away too.
Sure. Well, those are all excuses. They're not good reasons, right?
Yes.
Those are all
Dude,
excuses,
I
so.
understand. I understand.
But now what I'm saying though, you swore off Advil and Tylenol and stuff, but you're willing to take all these prescripties that you know are going to get you a little inebriated. That's the thing. So
I know.
maybe
I haven't even touched the gabapentin yet because I can get high on gabapentin if I wanted to.
that stuff doesn't do anything. I took that stuff. It didn't do diddly to me. I could take 1,000 milligrams of that stuff. It didn't do shit for me. It
You
didn't
take
do
it
anything.
like 5 to 7. You take it like 5 to 7,000 milligrams. And come talk to me.
I don't. That would have been my whole prescription. So,
Yeah.
well, don't do that. Obviously, you don't want to do that, Mikey. You're supplementing, but what you're doing, dude, you're supplementing your opiates and your alcohol with another legal drug, and then that way, when you talk to everybody, you can go, I'm just taking muscle relaxers that the doctor prescribed, which is what soccer moms do, and they turn into heroin addicts. So it's you're on the cycle again.
I know.
All right, as long as you know, okay, we got an I know. That's a good start because before it was everything's fine, and now we've at least gotten to an.
I can't get refills like that for the baclofen. I can take one a night, but when you stop taking your meds for nearly a month, you kind of have a surplus of them, so you can kind of, you know.
That's also an addict's move. That's also what somebody.
It was.
Trust me, when I had Clonopins, I knew this. I knew the drill, and I would have Adderalls. I knew, okay, I want to use these when I want to go out to drink. You know, it was all
28 days. You got to make sure that you got some for day 28.
Yes, these are all. This is all addict speak, Mikey. So I think we're getting, like I said, we're back in the cycle again. So I know, we're bi-drugable, I guess. So 844 hit Tom 844-448-3862. So it seems Carrie says you're poor liver. Brett is now saying
my liver numbers are good.
Brett's claiming that you're using heroin, and that's why you're admitting to all of this. This will get me off your back about using H or other opioids, and this is a deflector move, saying I'm doing something. Well, I'm just taking less. Work. Well, it did work because I didn't even consider that until he said it. So it didn't even cross my mind because it all just seems to make more sense to me. My mom's been around the block too, Mikey. Old Bish is in there. She said, well, now that makes sense. Muscle relaxers are the ticket. Soapers were great back in the day. So I was a big fan of Somas. Those were always my favorite. I don't know if you guys ever got
to say Somas, man. You couldn't swallow on those things.
She said Soapers, but Somas were my thing. I had a lot of, one of my, and I'm not trying to glorify it because it just, we had some fun nights those nights. And then I also almost got arrested another night on them. So not always the best times. But yes, the Soma comas are a real deal. So, Phil McCrevice says, I'm sure we can raise up $500 for a drug test. Well, no, I'm not here to, do anything other than just talk to Mikey about it. And hopefully,
piss in a cup wouldn't be the first time.
I'm not trying, bro, the only drug test anybody will ever get from me is a fucking taste test. You want a fucking piss test? Open your fucking mouth. That's my answer. If somebody ever asks me for one of those. So, no, I don't really roll that way. So Mikey, I think you got to really, re-examine a little bit where you're at too, because especially if you are taking on this responsibility, whether you want to or not.
I can't be taking muscle relaxers like that. I know.
Mm-mm. And really, frankly, honestly, take that out of the equation. Still, you can't do it for yourself, dude. You come too far. And if this doesn't get through to you, how many Minnesota Vikings games did you miss because you were in rehab? How many other life events?
It sucked, bro.
How many other life events and family events did you miss because you were in rehab?
Oh, dude, my dad drove me to rehab on his 60th birthday.
Oh,
He had
dude.
to stop at the liquor store for me to grab 4 or 5 mini bottles of vodka about 3 miles out.
because you were probably
That was depressing as shit.
shaking his car, shaking so much the doors were falling off. But
yeah, kinda. I just wanted to be drunk when I went in.
yeah. And CB's got a great point. This is really concerning when you're going to be watching a kid full time. And I'll be honest with you, probably the only reason I ended up bringing it up, because in the end, you're a grown ass man, and it's not for me to tell you how to live your life. But you know, if you are going to have children in your hands, my dude, or a child, you can't be fucked up. Let's just say it. I mean, you can't, honestly, you can't be booming.
No,
you
there's
can't do
no
any of that shit, because
no smoking. No,
because if any, really, just think about. I mean, if you fucking fall and break your fucking arm, or the kid falls and breaks his arm, and you have to take him somewhere, and you're fucking wasted.
Oh yeah, you can't be.
You can't. You know what I mean?
No.
You're gonna call to come pick him up. You know what I mean? So it really makes a difference. Like, it makes it, like, I used to think it was no big deal. Like, if I got a little tipsy when I had just the boys here and I had a few beers by myself, and then one day, actually Charlie said it to me. He was like, "What if one of them gets hurt?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, what if one falls and breaks their fucking arm? Who's going to take him to the doctor? Who's going to drive him to the ER?" And I'm like, I guess he's got a pretty fucking good point. You know what I mean? But that's because I grew up. My fucking parents drank a 6-pack plus every night. So I grew up watching that. It was normal for me to see that. So it was kind of like, get a little tipsy while I'm sitting there watching TV and hanging out. What's the big deal? But no, they're right. If it's just me here by myself, and like this was like pre-B1, in between like my divorce and like just when I'd have the boys by myself, I was telling Charlie or whatever, and he was like, "What the fuck, dude? What's the matter with you?" So yeah, you gotta curtail that shit, my dude. There's really no other way to say it, because it's gonna affect your relationship with your girl.
Oh God, yeah.
You could potentially, you know, you'll never forgive yourself if anything were to ever happen to him because you were fucking nodded off because you took too many baclofen. And he fell down the fucking stairs and was laying there with a broken arm for 2 hours or something because you nodded off. Yep. You know, I mean, this is the way life is with kids. Shit happens. My fucking kid, one day, he just thought he could jump off his top bunk and grab a hanger on the thing, and he would be able to hang on the hanger and swing on it. And he fucking fell right on his fucking head and cracked his shit open and was all cut up. And I mean, just, they're dipshits. They're dipshits. They just do dipshit things that you can't control. And even though he's a docile kid, that'll change. It'll like, one will be docile one day for mine, and then the next they're crazy 2 weeks later. So I mean, it'll change too, especially with the new dynamic of staying with you. You know, you're gonna want to be in dad mode and, you know, presenting the best version of you, because he's gonna need that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Especially because it's gonna be a big change for him.
And part of this has been a last little hoorah for me, of course.
Well, dude, that's the last thing I wanted to hear. That means you're doing it on purpose, because that's not good. Mikey, you're killing me.
I've been stressed, man. I've been stressed. I ain't perfect.
I'm not suggesting you're perfect. Hold on. I need to get another beer after that. Hold on. Jesus. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oy vey. I would tell you to check the chat, Mikey, but I doubt you want to do that right now. So I'm back. Don't worry.
I can read the chat without reading the chat. So
yeah.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. So, yeah, and Vanilla Charlie says, "I make fun of Charlie a lot, but that was a good thing he said to them." It was one of the best bits of advice I ever got, because I just didn't really think about it, because I grew up watching my parents getting drunk around me all the time. All the fucking time. And I never even thought, what if I fell down the fucking steps, and what were we going to do? What were my parents going to do? My dad would just drove me there drunk, but that's a bad thing. You know, I don't want to get put in that position. So it was some great advice, and I took that to heart, and I really don't. I just don't when it's just me and them. I don't. I mean, I'm, I'm doing my medicine, but if I had to drive on that, I'm pretty sure I could, even though you're not supposed to. But it's a little bit different, I think, than getting all drunk and doing that. So, yeah, your cat's over your shoulder every time you say something weird. Your cat's over there giving you the stink eye too, so they know what's going on.
Griff's always up there. He knows what's up. He's lived through hell already. He's been with me through a lot.
Falcor says, "We all have stress, bro, but this is not the way." And I agree with her. This is I'm trying not to but that last line was very upsetting. Like your last hurrah, because that's that's how cycles start, right? Because you're enjoying it a little bit, and you're like, then that, that's going to lead you to more resentment then too, because you're enjoying yourself. You're feeling you got to stop.
I'm not enjoying myself. I say last hurrah like I'm enjoying myself. Having this rib pain is not enjoyable. Having this depression,
you're not having a laugh.
Having this anxiety isn't enjoyable.
The last hurrah is you using up what you have in order to get yourself super inebriated. Look, one of my good friends said to me once, one of the guys I've gotten the most wasted with ever. I've done more dabs with this guy than I've done with anybody else in my life. I partied with him, blown down with him. And he even said to me one day, he was like, cause the amount I burn, he goes to me, he goes, what is with you that you need to be inebriated all the time? And I didn't have an answer for him other than that's just how I roll. You know what I mean? And he had a really good point. And it's always stuck with me. And I don't know that I necessarily changed my ways necessarily, but it has kind of it's always kind of in the back of my head. I think to myself, why do I need to sedate myself? Like, my life's not bad. I got relationship problems, but I got great kids. I got a fantastic ex-wife. I like where I live. I didn't have the career. The only thing that didn't work out was the career I was trying to have. So I really don't, outside of that, there should be no reason to want to stay sedated or inebriated all the time, with either weed or one thing or another. So that always sticks in the back of my mind. So I think that's one of I relate to you in that sense, Mikey, because I think you're that same way, that you just kind of need to be inebriated a little bit one way or another all the time to feel normal. And at times it gets the better of you. And I'm just worried that we're headed down that road. And I wouldn't bring this up, dude. I would never bring this up just because people in the chat run their mouth or because I get an email. It's certainly not. I wouldn't do that. It's because I've noticed too. And then and now I'm hearing you say, it's the last hurrah before I got to actually be responsible again. That upsets me because that's your self-destruction talking. And that's when that's when you go down that road, dude. That's when you start saying, it's better to self-destruct than deal with what I got to deal with right now. I know that. I've done that. I've lived that. So I recognize it.
I've lived this cycle for the last 20 years, my guy.
You just go so much farther than I do down that road. So I'm just worried about you, man. That's all there is to it.
Yes, and I'm not trying to be dismissive of it all.
I'm not saying you are.
I love the support. But yeah, I know what's going on right now, and I'm dealing with it, and doesn't mean that it doesn't come with consequences for me. Not consequences, but like my conscious and everything else. It all reflects in my writing every night and everything like that. So there's some things that I'm getting back to try to right the ship.
So here, M. Hayes says, if your ribs are hurting, go to the doctor. Like everybody else does. Like, you didn't do that. You didn't go to the doctor. You started taking your prescription that's prescribed for something else to take care of it. I know you self-medicate, but you have to do it responsibly, if that makes sense. I mean, you got to have, I know you're smarter than that. You're not self-medicating. You're abusing your drugs. You're not, like, I used to joke around with my buddy, like my buddy and I, we would talk about, we aren't drug abusers. We're drug users. We know how to use drugs. We don't abuse them. And
I'm an abuser.
Yeah, you had gotten away from that, and now you're headed back down that road, my dude. And I'm just so scared for you. And I know it's all rooted in this decision you've made to take care of Ollie, because it's massive, and you can't fuck up. So you're like, well, let me try to fuck up before it happens. I mean, it's just. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I know I'm watching it. So I'm just very worried about you, my dude. And I'm hoping that we can get things I hope you stop it. There's no other fucking way to explain it. I hope you stop it. That's the only thing I'm gonna say. So let me take a phone call.
I have no other choice.
I agree. Well, it's good to hear
I
you
mean,
say that.
I do have another choice, but rock bottom.
The wrong.
I'm
Thank
kind
you.
of done with rock bottoms in my
All
life.
right. Curious George, you're on another dumb show. What's up, dude?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
up,
How about you? I'm sure Mikey's peachy right now.
I just got off work. We had a really late day today, so I missed a lot. So I was just kind of curious, had a question, if that's cool.
Certainly.
Awesome, thank you. So Mikey, I don't know if like I'm trying to get to know like everything about you and like, you know, your life, which I already know that you were bad into drugs, had a drinking problem, you live in New York, you and Dumb met at I think it was at a Rover Fest. You guys are really close and all that kind of stuff. But that's why I'm asking these questions. But kind of curious about your relationship. So you're very serious about this girl, and I believe she listens to the show, right? Maybe live or maybe afterwards.
No, not normally.
Okay, because I was going to ask if she is like a little bit offended with the questions I'm asking, because I should have maybe asked that, because I know B2 or B1 never gave a shit of what I asked and stuff, but I should have asked your permission if she's kind of doesn't mind I ask question, because I have another question.
Go ahead.
Have you? Awesome, thanks, Mikey. So have you ever tried anal sex with her, and did she enjoy it, or is it something where it's one and don't ever do it again, and what happened there?
Let's see. Based on her comfort level with this question alone, I'm gonna say I'm just gonna not answer this one.
Okay. I think that's answering without answering, my friend.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have a very healthy sexual. I have a very healthy sexual relationship with my girlfriend.
So can we just say hypothetically, would she have enjoyed it, or hypothetically, is it like don't ever do it again? Hypothetically.
No, there hasn't been. I haven't heard the phrase "don't ever do that again" yet in the bedroom. So,
okay, thank you for that.
Perfect.
Thank you guys. That's all I had. I really appreciate the time, and thanks for being honest, Mikey. You're awesome. You're great on the show, and I love you, Dom. You know that.
I love you too. Your timing is perfect. We were we were having some
thank
really
you for
light
the deflection.
Really some light conversation too. So your call fit right in with the timing perfectly. No, I'm just busting your chops, George. All right, how's everything going with you, my friend?
Going really good. I've got a long weekend. I'm off work tomorrow, off obviously Monday for Labor Day and Tuesday. So I'm really looking forward to a nice long weekend. So yeah.
Well, I haven't had
other than that.
I haven't had a chance to say thank you to you for making your, was that a Lego portrait you made of me?
I was just about to say that, and I was talking over you and let you talk, and obviously you just asked that. It's a Lego mosaic.
Mosaic, okay.
Basically, you had a really clear picture of your head really close, so I just take a picture of that, and I set it up so that the colors, because there's many colors in there, the green trees, your hair, the gray beard, just whatever. I pick only 5 colors to use, and then it's like almost like an Excel spreadsheet with little cells, and I know that section is pink, that one is peach for your skin, that one's black for your hair, and I start at the top left and move around. So all I get is a back piece. I order it from like Lego.com.
Yeah.
It's 50 by 50, and then I go buy those. They're called bricks, the little Lego pieces.
Sure.
And I buy it and I put it together, and I think it looks really good. They actually even mention it on the RMG show as well. They're like, oh, all that looks good.
They are pretty good. They're pretty photorealistic too for using only 5 colors. You do a good job, man. I hate that picture of myself, actually. I know I use it because it's actually just a decent headshot, but it makes my creases on my face look, they're so pronounced in that picture. And you really nailed those creases, by the way. You got my age creases perfectly. So they're actually my smile lines. You nailed my smile lines perfectly. Thank you, George. I appreciate that.
Sure thing. Yeah. Yeah,
No,
I'm
no,
glad
there.
you like
I'm
to
busting.
think-
I'm being silly, but no, I am very thankful that you even took the time to think of me to do that. That's pretty neat, to tell you the truth. Next time, put
Oh,
a
of
cape,
course, man.
put a cape and an S on me. All right.
Will do.
All right, thanks, George. I don't know if that was a laugh or like this guy's a fucking idiot, or if he actually thought that was funny. Oh, that's good stuff. I have to lie. I can't lie. I'm glad Curious George called in because I didn't really know how to get out of that with you, Mikey. I didn't know how to end that conversation with
There
us.
is no way to end that conversation. It just continues to.
Go ahead.
I was reading the chat. Sorry, I got distracted.
No, that's okay. I did think I have a couple actually good videos I think that would actually help distract us from the drama, and we can end on a light note here tonight. There was a brawl between two girls at a Morgan Wallen concert last night. If you guys haven't seen this video, it's great. And the best part about it is, I mean, a girl fight's always fun as it is, especially when it's white girls. Black girls fighting, they actually beat the shit out of each other, but they're just white girls fighting is great because they're just so bad at it. Except the one, except for one girl in here. But the best part about this whole thing is where it takes place, not at a concert, but where at the concert in particular. Probably the worst place you'd want to get into a fight at any sort of concert. This is at a Morgan Wallen concert last night. Porta potties. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Don't push me. I love the door. It's perfect timing. They go in the porta potty. Now just keep watching because we got a G. We got a GG unit. Back around. Hair pull, thumps, kicks. Nope. This next one, boom, I'll bump. Oops, shoot. I think that was actually my friend. My bad. Sorry, hun. Punched her own friend. Hit her own friend in the middle of it. Pretty good girl fight. And then the one girl trying to explain why it was okay for them to fight. So I thought that was great. I love a good girl fight like that. And the fact that they ended up in the porta potty was so good.
Oh, she kicked her right in the porta potty too. She gave her that little front kick action. This is Sparta.
The timing on it was so good, where they both like get thrown right around the corner, right into as the door opens. It was so good. I loved it. And then, all right, guys, I got one other little video here to make us smile before we wrap things up tonight. If this video doesn't make you smile, I really don't know what video will at this point, to tell you the truth. So here's a video. I have no idea where this is from, why this exists. I didn't do any research on it. All I did was watch the video and laugh my ass off. So here you go. This is a car. Don't know where it's at. Don't care. If I had to guess, probably Texas. But here you go. Got yourself a Crown Vic with a cow in the passenger seat. That's right, guys. And I don't know if you noticed, if that cow is, he's sticking out all the way out of the back of that thing. Keep your eye on the back part of that car right there. You notice what that cow is doing all over the back of that car?
Oh, shit, all over that.
All over the back window of that car. And it says
lice.
I mean, look at the size of the horns on that thing.
I thought it was fake at first.
No, it's as real as it gets, my dude. That's a real thing because he got pulled over. That's why the story's in the news. They pulled the guy over. I honestly...
I'm sitting here wondering why the car says lice, and I'm like, what the hell? It's because it used to say police.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, I was wondering that myself. That makes more sense now. But, I thought that was a pretty... I've never seen horns on an animal like that before. That cow's horns are fucking insanely huge. I mean, look at the size of that thing. It's as wide as the car hood. Imagine getting gored by that thing. Remember that matador we saw get gored? Imagine that guy getting gored by this fucking dude.
I
couple
just saw the
Longhorns.
amount of shit on my big screen because I got the big screen playing another dumb show right now too, and that was a lot of shit. And it was crystal clear 4K. Like,
There you go. In Nebraska, that was the best car entry in Nebraska's big rodeo parade. Well, hey, good for this guy. I got a good laugh out of it. So looks like he's from the number 8 ranch up there. If you see the branding on the thing. So okay. So a little bit of an intense episode tonight. Mikey, I'm sorry to give you the 3rd degree or whatever the 5th. I don't even know what that phrase
Mikey,
is. Right
med
now.
check. I'm going to take my baclofen right now.
No, you were specifically told do not take the baclofen, or if you've not already taken it today, just take one. And not just take what you're prescribed.
I don't have any left.
So, CB said, "Who the fuck knows what he's on at this point? And is and isn't taking it at this point. You got to figure it out, bud." And I agree with her. You got to get it figured out, my friend. You can't keep this up and not even because of Ali or your girl or your parents or anybody else. Because of you, man. You're a good dude. You got a lot going for you. You got a great job. You got a great career. Think about that, dude. You want to show up at somebody's house all fucked up again? You want to represent, you don't want. Well, you don't want to do that. That's what I'm saying. Don't do it then. You can control it and all that stuff. So just if you're not going to do it for you, do it for me. Do it for another dumb show in the league. Nah, that's stupid. Do it for yourself, dude. That's what's the most important thing, honestly. The league's not stupid. Don't take offense to that, guys. I meant him doing it for you is stupid. I want him to do it for himself because it's the right thing to do. That's it. That's all I got for you, dude. I've given you my intervention or whatever, and it seems like I
appreciate it, and I love you for it.
I appreciate it. Good. I'm glad you're not mad at me, and I'm glad you understand that it's coming from a place of love and that it's not for this fucking shit. I really care about you I care about the show, but I certainly care about you much more than the YouTube show. So,
I know that, bro. We go way back.
We certainly do. That's why you're here, my friend. So let's tighten it up. I guess that's the best way to put it, right? Tighten it up a little bit.
Will do.
All right. I don't expect you to totally clean it up. Just start using, less abusing. You know?
Yeah, I really should take that tolerance break from smoking weed too.
It feels like maybe you ought to just do whatever is prescribed to you as prescribed for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, chronic to me doesn't even count. I don't think. I mean, if you're let me rephrase.
I can overdo it with the chronic too. Like, I'll go out and buy $70 worth of pre-rolls and smoke all them bangers in a night. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, that isn't honestly that hard because it's expensive. But I'm just saying. But no, I mean, it's not that. If you're putting a ton of edibles in there too. And if edibles actually still affect you, then yeah, then you are overdoing it. You know what I'm saying? Like
they affect me when I hit like 600 to 800 milligrams. That's about the only time they'll affect me.
Right. Well, then if you do that, and it's affecting you, and you're also still ripping down the vapes, and you're backlifting it up, and you're that all starts to pile on. It adds up. So
the doctor's concoction.
Yeah, Diz has got a good point. You're looking for the high past weed, and you got to just settle on it at this point. That's all there is. That's it.
I know.
And the fun guys are.
There is no highs left.
That's it. I mean, it's just it. But there are plenty of highs. The high of life, the high of being good, of feeling good about yourself.
When I cough really hard and it makes me dizzy.
that works, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, maybe a whippet every once in a while or something. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that would that's not gonna beat you up too bad.
Don't greenlight me on whippets, my guy.
That's the thing. You can't use them. You'll just abuse them. That's the problem.
I abuse everything. That's the problem. That's it. Like, literally, I abuse Gatorade. I abuse anything that I like. I use it till I don't like it no more, and I'm done with it.
I do that too. I do that with food. In particular, I order the same thing. If there's a food that I get on a kick, I'll eat it the same thing over, like the wings. I've been on a wing kick lately to the point right now where I'm really not in the mood for wings because I've eaten so many wings over the past. I've eaten hundreds of wings over the past few weeks, because I've just been obsessed with them. So, but yes, I do appreciate the super fan donations in there, guys. Thank you for hooking me up. Again, I'm not bringing this up because you guys brought it up. I'm bringing it up because I felt like it needed to be brought up myself. It just kind of coincided. I think, well, it kind of came to a head last night, I think, to tell you the truth. So, dude, tighten it up. Shark said we make ADS Dare shirts. You would just say Dare not to be like Mikey. No, I'm just sorry. That was bad.
Yeah.
That was mean.
I like that.
that was awful. No, I love you, dude. I want people to be like you because you're a great guy, and you should want people to be like you too. So, all right, dude. I do love you. Please don't take offense to any of this. And CB says that Mikey, you need to get sober, like actual sober, like not California sober either. Like literally quit smoking weed.
Aye, Captain.
Brad Lesnar said no weed September. That's probably a little bit more realistic than CB's recommendations, knowing Mikey.
Been there, done that, tried that. I did the whole 1 year completely sober, everything. And then I made the conscious decision that I wanted to be able to smoke weed in my life. So now I'll smoke weed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never going to go another month without smoking weed again.
All right. Well, it's
unless it's for like a tolerance break.
The gateway, though, into the gateway that it is a gateway drug. I'm not gonna fucking ever. I know it's a gateway drug. It was my gateway into other drugs. I went and bought weed, and the next person, one time I was buying weed, the guy was like, "You want some rock?" So I mean,
I was the gateway.
It's a gateway. Oh wait, no, it's a gateway. I mean, I never would have ever met anybody who offered me powder or crack if I hadn't gone and bought weed from this one person. So it there's the gateway. There's no getting around it. I made the conscious decision whether or not I was going to buy it or not, but it was 100%. That's how I look at it, as a gateway. I never would have been introduced to those people if I hadn't started smoking weed. Never. But in the end, you're right. It was my decision to take them or not take them, the stuff beyond weed. So, as it is yours, my friend, as it is yours. So,
indeed.
Good luck the rest of the night. Don't feel bad. Don't beat yourself up. Don't feel bad. I hope. I don't want you to feel bad or feel like you got picked on or anything like that. And sometimes you can.
I'm gonna smoke a blunt and have an Uncrustable and fuck out.
Go to sleep though. That way, try to catch up on some sleep because you've been so far behind. Do 2 blunts and then and knock yourself out.
I might not even make it to 1 blunt, to be honest with you. I'm kind of tired.
Now, does that make it? Oh, see, because you still vape. So, do you think if you stopped vaping and you switched to just blunts, you might get a little bit more of a feel? You might get your whatever that vibe you're looking for, that crave. Maybe if you take the vape away, and you do just blunts. It'll kind of like you'll be craving.
Get my tobacco that way.
Well, you'll be craving nicotine instead of everything else, and then you get it through your blunts. So,
yeah, it could be.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so because that's kind of
yeah.
I know I'm addicted to blunts because it's nicotine. I know that. I'm not an idiot. But maybe that's the thing though. Maybe if you took away those vapes, because I know in between I'll end up like nobody walks around craving weed. But I will crave a blunt because I know, because it's the nicotine in it. It's making me crave it and want it. So, I don't know. Maybe if you take that out of the equation, maybe it switches it up a little bit and then you actually get like that extra.
I was thinking about quitting the vaping because I got to quit something coming up soon. Yeah, that's just what I go through in life.
I would start with tobacco thin. If you're doing 8 of those a day, dude, I'd start there. And
I'm
back
out
that
of those.
down.
I ain't got none left.
Well, okay. Well, that's maybe have a talk with the doc and say, look, just be honest with your doctor and say, look, I have potentially a problem abusing these. Is there something else I could take that will give me the same effect that is not going to, if I take 8 of them, make me still get that effect?
They'll just give me clonidine. I'm not a big fan of clonidine. It's just a blood pressure medication. Doesn't really work well for anxiety or anything like that. Baclofen is the only thing that really worked.
Right on. All right. Well, hey, dude. Good luck. Be careful. I'm glad you're out of your baclofens, I guess, for the night then. So, all right. Well, I love you, dude. Have a good rest of the night. Go, stay chill. And hey, don't. You look defeated. Don't be defeated. You look like you're upset.
No, man, I told you already. I'm in a state of depression already. So like,
well, that's my point. I don't want to. I don't want to add to that. And
it's not compounding to it. No, it's not adding any depression to it.
All right, we're not in a catastrophic state of mind. No. Nothing like that. No. We're good to go. All right, cool. I don't want you to. Again, I don't want you to feel.
No,
like
you're leaving me. You're leaving me in a good place now. We're good.
Okay. All right, dude. I love you. Have a good rest of the night then.
Love you too, buddy. See ya.
All right, peace. All righty, guys. Oof. Well, that was hard. That was not the easiest thing I've ever done in my life by any means. The phone's ringing. I was literally just going to reach over and grab that call. So if you want to call back, I will pick up your phone call, 844-HIT-DUMP. So I'm going to try to peek in here with the chat again before we wrap things up. Tessa wants Mikey to go back to working out or something. Angelina says she's addicted to food. I feel you. My mom, Bish, says, we love you, Mikey, and we want you to be well and happy. Let's see. Brad, I'm trying to keep up with everybody. Brett says it's impossible to talk to someone in denial. Well, I don't know what to tell you. All I can do is talk. CB is claiming Mikey is still in a hard denial state. Falcor says the best we can hope for is not abusing the prescriptions and backing off the weed some. And I agree. I think that's a good recipe right there. Let's take the pills the way they're supposed to be taken and back off the chronic a little bit. Especially too, because I forgot to bring up too. Mikey had mentioned too. He had that big, he had that chronic plasmosis or whatever. I don't know, when you smoke too much weed, that cannabis toxicity thing where he was throwing up, and the only thing to fix it was you take a shower. So yeah, I mean, he definitely goes way hard. So hopefully that'll back down. CYX says just stop smoking. That'll you'll stop coughing and the ribs will heal. That's simple. Just stick to the edibles. It's a very good point. That is easier said than done when you do enjoy that smoking. Herman is saying nicotine is in a blunt. Yep, absolutely. They are tobacco. They're cigars. There's tobacco in the wraps. Absolutely. Not just in the stuff you take out of the wraps. In the actual wraps, they have nicotine in them. They got a big ass black and white warning. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. It tells you right on there. So they put it right in the wrap. They keep you coming back for more. All right. Well, Crystal Frazier is saying, what did I miss? I said, well, the answer to that, Crystal, is a whole lot. There's a lot of show today. So Shark, I'll keep an eye out for you. I'll keep bang loud just in case I'm upstairs. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to hear. So make a little bit of noise when you get here. So, yeah. All right. I think that's going to wrap things up for us tonight. I do want to thank everybody who put in some superfan donations in there. We did have some superfan donations in there. I do see a few more people in there who are not official members of the league, so it's always great to see new subscribers in there hanging out and talking and chatting. Don't forget, if you want to become an official member of the league, all you got to do is hit that join button. It's $1.99 a month. It's a great way to support me and Another Dumb Show. And I really appreciate when you do it, because we do special after shows for you guys too. In fact, I believe today's Thursday. I believe tomorrow night we're going to do an after show after the main show. So it's one of the things, if you want to have access to those shows, the only way to do it is to hit that join button and become an official member of the League of Dummies. Alrighty, guys. If you guys have not already taken... Blue Wolverine says, call in. I pay for these phones. Called in multiple times tonight and never got through. So dumb. Get some glove oil for your toothache. Clove oil for your toothache. Google how to use it. That's so weird. I only saw the phone ring one time tonight, unless I just wasn't seeing it out of the corner of my eye. But Blue Wolverine, it doesn't look like I have any calls from you. I only have one. It looks like I missed one from Brad. So I don't know if you were doing 800 or 844, or if there was just some sort of issue and it wasn't getting through, because I know somebody in the past has said that the phones weren't working when they were working. I think it was actually Creepy Michelle said that. And then she was able to get through last night. So next time that happens, Blue Wolverine, do me a favor. Just put that in the chat. Say, Dom, I just tried to call. Did you see it? Because it doesn't look like your call went through, dude. That way it'll give me a chance to reboot the phones and give it an opportunity maybe to get your call. But just in case sometimes people accidentally type 800 hit Dom or 888 hit Dom. And Blue Wolverine with a super fan donation, he says, unblock my phone number, sucker. I literally do not have the ability to block phone numbers, or don't you think I would block one dipshit in particular who would never ever get through ever? Or even when I get the fake phone number, I just block that one. But no, I truly don't have the ability to block. So you want to call, buddy? It's just a shitty fucking phone system. I'm telling you, man. I don't know what it is. That actually really pisses me off that you were calling and it wasn't ringing through. When then later on at 9:15 it did. So drives me crazy. I promise you guys I won't be blocking anybody ever as far as blocking on the phones. I'll screen your stupid ass out if I don't like you. I'll fucking pick up and hang right up on your ass if I don't want to talk to you. But I'm not just going to outright block you from calling. So that's going to wrap things up for us tonight, guys. Like I said, if you haven't joined already, please join up. If you want to talk in the chat, all you have to do is subscribe. It takes about 10 minutes and you'll be able to talk in the chat. And of course, if you don't have your notifications turned on, please make sure you do that because, like I said, sometimes I go live other than between 7 and 9. So I appreciate everybody streaming on my tube tonight. We'll be back live tomorrow at 7 p.m. Thanks again for hanging out. I am out of here. See ya.